So as the title says, I'm sort of a new player. I mean, I did start back in 2019 and that was 6 years ago. So sure, I may not be 100% new to playing Call of Duty, but I am definitely not a COD veteran. Ever since I got into COD, I've heard people praise Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 2 the most. These two are very likely to be in the top 5 of people's rankings, and one of the reasons why they're up there is because of its maps. One of the many complaints with modern Call of Duty is how maps play out. I mean, Santa saying your border crossing from the new MW2 was horrible. Then you got Euphrates Bridge, check my video out on that one. Of course, not every new map plays bad, but many veterans have wanted some older maps to come back. Well, the new MW3 brought back all of the MW2 launch maps as its own launch map pool. I was excited. I've heard so much about these, but was also a bit skeptical. Nostalgia plays a huge part in people's opinions, and many times it can prevent them from seeing the cons. I want to see if people were really just blinded by MW2. So the MW3 beta comes out, and unfortunately I can't remember much about playing the beta except for Rust. I don't know why, for some reason that's the only thing I can recall. I end up buying the game, boot it up, play on these maps, and realize something. These maps are amazing. I legitimately had a lot of fun playing on them. Now, let me get this grass is green take out of the way. I don't think Wasteland is a good map. It's so hard to find people, it's hard to fight on if you're not even sniping, and even if you are sniping, it's just boring. Now, from my understanding, this map was infamous because of the MW2 killstreak system. Killstreak kills would count towards your streak progress, so it'd be easy to get the higher cost ones. And because Wasteland is so open, those streaks were even more deadly than usual. So judging from what I've heard, I feel like Wasteland and MW3 plays better because that older streak system is not present in the game. Sledgehammer themselves knew that this map wouldn't be played on much, so they lowered how often it appears in modes. Surprisingly, people ask where the map is, so there are some people who want to play it.
Shut the hell up, we won! We won! We still won, buddy! We still won! We still won! We still won!
A map I'm not surprised people want to play on is Skid Row. I think this is one of the best close range maps I've played on. The middle building is so much fun to play, and that long hallway is scary to be in since there's always someone sniping there. You also have this long line of sight that pretty much means death if someone is sitting in the building. I won't lie, these camping spots are annoying, but I feel that they aren't that bad since you can easily flank them. It's so cool how this map has a mix of close and long range engagements. One of my favorites in the game, to be honest. Another favorite of mine is Afghan. This is the sniper map for me, and I absolutely love it. This spot may seem annoying, but you can easily kill whoever's up here. The power positions are really powerful for killing, but it's hard to survive in them. You're vulnerable, and I think that's great. Fighting where the plane is fun, and I love how you can climb here so you can take this power position. This map is proof that a map doesn't have to be small or enclosed to be good. If it's designed well, then it can play incredibly well. Estate is a map that's very open, and I just praise Afghan for being both open and playing well. Well, Estate only is one of those. I don't hate playing on it. In fact, sometimes I can get some enjoyment if I'm sniping, but trying to do anything else is... don't even try it. If you're spawning on the lower end of the map, then obviously the enemy is going to be on the opposite side, where the high ground is. Who thought of this? And don't get me started on playing domination on this map. Holy crap, the middle building is hard to capture if the enemy already has it. And since you got people on the outside shooting at you, it's even worse. Legit, if there were a snipers only mode, this Afghan and Wasteland would be the best for it. But anything else, it sucks. While Invasion wouldn't be the best for a snipers only mode, this is my favorite 10v10 type of map. It felt like many of Modern Warfare's maps were trying to recreate the giant map but still lots of engagements kind of thing that Invasion had. As we all know, that failed. Invasion is a huge map, but I don't feel like I have to travel 10 million years just to find one person. Despite being a giant map, you can thrive with every weapon class on it, which isn't easy to do when you're just this big map. The buildings offer great... Jeez, that voice crack. The buildings offer great close combat moments, and while the snipers in the back spawn are definitely annoying, like Afghan, it's not too difficult to kill them. The only real problem I have with Invasion is how strong the map control is. On the castle side, it is very likely that a team will get spawn trapped here, and it gets out of hand when it continues to spawn people there despite the enemy being present in the same building. Overall, if a team isn't suffering from a spawn trap, then this map can be a lot of fun. Unlike Terminal. I'm sorry, I was let down when I played this map. Don't get me wrong, it's not the worst thing to play, and it probably played way better in MW2, so I'll give that the benefit of the doubt. But I find it hard to enjoy it when you're just getting spawn trapped and you have nowhere to run. If you're not holding a specific line of sight, then the enemy is holding it, and it can cause problems for your team. It's camper's paradise, even when you're not getting spawn trapped. And it's not in a fun way like how Afghan can be. At least that map is big and open, so you're not that limited in where you can move. Terminal is small, and it is frustrating. Again, I'd probably enjoy this more in the original MW2. It just feels like the mechanics make it actively worse in its newest appearance. A map that seems to have played better in its newest appearance is Underpass. So this Reddit post asked the MW3 subreddit which maps they like more or less compared to their originals, and Underpass was one of the most common answers for being better in MW3. And of course, while I never played the original, I love playing it here. Flanking on this map is so much fun, but even having sniper duels are just entertaining, since it doesn't feel like one side has a huge advantage over the other. Looking at you, Estate. Those little buildings near the middle are a nice design in terms of adding depth to the map, and the whole underpass part is cool. This is another map where I don't mind camping. Another map where I don't mind the camping or even have myself camping on is Rundown. One of the main reasons I like this map is because I can flank by mantling this wall. I believe it wasn't like this in the original, and thank goodness they changed it because it would be way more difficult to kill the campers. I also like the middle buildings because so many people camp there, and all I have to do is just sneak over on by the right side, and boom, they're dead. There's also quite a few jump spots here, which, okay, this may be subjective. Okay, I never played the original, and maybe some people don't like how you can do these types of jump spots, but I like it. Although this spot is annoying. It's not jump spotted, but I hate this. I don't know if this was in the original, but man, it's annoying. I like Rundown and would like to see it return, especially since the modern CODs have mantling mechanics that create these cool jump spots. While mantling has had a positive effect on Rundown, it negatively affects High Rise. It's clear that in the original, these walls were meant to separate the bottom floor from the higher one. It technically still does this, but you're not able to mantle over these walls. This is really annoying if you're the one dying to people doing this, especially when an objective is here. I know I just said that I like it in Rundown, but in High Rise, you're on the lower ground, so you're gonna die to that almost certainly unless you see them. Other than that, this map probably has the best execution of using elevation. You got the insane high ground that overlooks almost the entire map, and also has... It takes a long time to get there, okay? There's a lot of effort that goes into that. The lower high ground that isn't as powerful, but it's still a nice place to be in. The ground floor where most of the action takes place, and the underground flank. Oh, I love the underground flank. I can see why people love this map. It suits every playstyle, and I don't get tired of playing on it. Another map I don't get tired of playing on is Scrapyard. I know I haven't talked about how a map looks from the original since I didn't play most of these maps before MW3, but because I played Scrapyard before, I can say that holy crap, this darker setting is way cooler. I don't know, these maps in terms of settings and time of day are just so unique. I love it. Okay, back to gameplay. Like I said, I played it in the reboot Modern Warfare, and it was one of the best maps for me. Medium-sized 3-lane map with airplane parts in the middle to encourage close combat. 2 buildings on either side for sniping, and on the left and right are buildings that provide some cover. Scrapyard allowed every weapon to shine in some way, and that hasn't really changed in its return in MW3. Actually, I lied. It's better in MW3 because of the mechanics. It's an amazing map. I unfortunately can't say the same thing about Rust. Rust is the only map besides Scrapyard that I played prior to MW3 since it was remade in Modern Warfare. Scrapyard is better in MW3 because of mechanics. Rust plays worse in MW3 because of mechanics. I don't know what went wrong here, but the spawns are horrendous. Map control exists in MW3, and I'm 100% grateful for that. Okay, keep it in the game. I feel that every Call of Duty should have this mechanic from now on. But map control can ruin small maps. It doesn't ruin Shipment because Shipment is just so small and it spawns you anywhere, it doesn't matter. But with Rust, it being a bit bigger and having the center tower there, it can really, it's easy to spawn trap, and I don't like it. Still, I like playing Rust, it's just that it's downgraded from its Modern Warfare version. I don't really have a transition sentence for this part, but derail.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the f***?
This map is probably grateful that Wasteland exists, because if it didn't, then Derail would be considered to be the worst map of the MW2 launch pool. With that being said, I don't hate this map. I actually think that this is better than Estate, sometimes. Sometimes I'll say that Estate's better, other times I'll say Derail's better. But right now, I feel like Derail's better. It plays better as a 10v10 map. Estate, no. It's a decent map for long-range guns, and it mostly sucks for everything else. At least in the middle, you have that building that can encourage close-range guns, but other than that, you're not really going to use it much. This map is legit so campy, but the spots where people do camp are open enough to where it doesn't feel unfair. In fact, because the map is so big, there are parts of it where you can easily flank, and there you go, easy kills. I feel like if the middle building wasn't there, this would just be sort of a worse, I'd say scrapyard or maybe even wasteland. I don't know which would be worse actually. So I don't hate this map like most people do, but I don't love it or even like it. I also sort of feel the same about Quarry. Playing domination on this map sucks. People camping in the windows sucks. But when these aren't a factor, this map can be decent. At least with high rise as high ground, you actually have to make an effort to take it. In Quarry, all you have to do is climb some ladders. I can actually have some fun on this map. The buildings themselves are fun to fight in, except for the crane one. And the line of sights don't feel too bad, at least compared to the window. Seriously, these windows slow down the map way too much. If these windows were closed off, I think people would like this map more. Now, Favela was one of the MW2 maps, alongside Terminal, High Rise, and Afghan. Okay, maybe there are some other ones. Those were just the top of my head that I can think of. I've heard people talk about how amazing these maps were. Now, I said that High Rise and Afghan play amazing, and Terminal was a letdown for me. Favela, I like it. Now, according to many original MW2 players, this map plays worse than in MW3. Wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. Sorry, it plays worse in MW3 compared to the original MW2. Mainly because of how everything can be mantled on. This is sort of a more extreme high-rise situation where mantling ends up messing with the flow of the map. Now, I can understand this, but then people complain about campers on this map. And rushers. I'm not making fun of anyone, but don't these complaints sort of contradict each other? Mantling helps rushers, and rushers can kill campers. Please explain in the comments. As for me, this map is a lot of fun. There's so much going on in these tight spaces, it's sick. And like I said with High Rise, the elevation is amazing. You can go on top of the buildings, that is cool. Come on, that's cool. My only real problem with this map, and actually many of these older maps, are the B flag placements. Holy crap, this is... oh my goodness, this is horrible. It's right in the middle, and it's the same thing for sub base. What the hell are these B flag placements? Okay, I'm not gonna focus on one game mode. I actually love sub base. Like Favela, you can go on top of the buildings. I don't know why newer maps don't use this often. Obviously they do, but they don't do it the way that these older maps do it. And I love it. I sound like a broken record right now, I know. But the elevation is just cool. I love it. There's also many ways to get on top of these roofs. The middle area it's a death chamber, let's be honest. There's no way that you're gonna survive long there. But I love sub base. I'm sorry, I'm at a loss for words because sub base is just such an amazing map. I'm surprised that they didn't really bring this back. To my knowledge, they didn't bring this back from MW2, at least until now. So, sub base, really fun map. Last but certainly not least is Karachi. Karachi is a great map, but unfortunately I have to mention that it suffers from the spawn traps that Invasion and Terminal do. Other than that, this map is also awesome. It's an MW2 map. Of course it's going to have great elevation and rooftops. I've said this multiple times. I will say though that, you know how there's that rooftop where it's a very powerful power position? I like how it doesn't overlook the entire map. You have this side here that's safe from that. I feel like that's a cool way to have power positions in a Call of Duty map without having it, be insanely frustrating because you have this safe area here. I like that. I also want to talk about how the spots they're predictable, okay? After playing this map once or twice, it's easy to figure out where people will likely camp at. And even if someone's camping there, it's not too difficult to kill them. It's predictable. I mean, what more could you ask for? So, overall, I feel like these maps are really good. Obviously, there are some, you have the wastelands, the estates, the derails, but even those maps, they're not the worst maps, at least for me. I've seen worse. But as a new player, I understand why people love these maps. They play incredibly well even with modern mechanics. So I'm sorry, I apologize for having any doubt in anyone that said that these MW2 maps were good. As you can see, I'm a new player, and these maps are really good. Okay, I really wish that these would come back sooner, and I really hope that they do come back in a later COD game, but not too later. Maybe in the next 5 years. So that's my video on a new Call of Duty player reviews the MW2 2009 launch maps. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know if you're a veteran actually. I want to know what your opinions on this. Or even if you're a new player that never played the MW2 maps. What do you think of them? Let me know down in the comments. Alright, I'll see you on the next one.